to the cloud. Okay, my camera's acting all functified. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna have a great conversation. I'm excited to bring one of my favorite humans who literally keeps me in check at every single one of our retreats and every single one of our events. Bree is a person who truly just has this light that just comes from you whenever you enter a room. I hope you know this. She's also one of the coaches for Brand Demand, but we were just talking how she started off as a student of mine
Mm.
7 years ago.
Yes.
And now you are one of the coaches that I know that our students like they can't wait for your session because you help them break it into smaller pieces. Like building a brand is there's so many moving parts, right? Building any kind of business, there's so many moving parts. And I love how you've been able to take my trainings, my brain when it comes to branding and really help them like micro it out to where they can win bigger. But you've got a story and I want everyone to get to know you better because you're one of my favorite humans. And if I know you and love you, everybody else has to know you and love you. So tell me a little bit about Bree.
Yes. Well, pardon me. I knew I got my tissues for a minute. I have to dab this eye before it drops. So, yes, we've known each other for 7 years, and I have to take a moment and pause. One thing I've learned from you is to celebrate yourself, right? That's something you teach us, and it's for some reason so stinking hard for us to learn. I heard you say, I hope you know that you light up a room. Well, while I've been developing this part of my brand and realizing that teaching mothers to regulate their emotions and therefore they can regulate the whole house, I learned that I can regulate a room just by
Mhm.
walking in it. And I've witnessed that many times, and you've given me the opportunity to like take that and magnify it by 10 every time I walk into one of your rooms. And we didn't know that was going to happen.
No, no. I
The
think that's the
first,
best piece is that you literally were just like, this is what I'm good at,
yes.
Marina. And you like showed yourself. You weren't afraid to say, hey, you need help. Like you need my help. And I was like, okay, help me. And I love
Yes.
that about you because what if you didn't? What if you had not shown me your gifts and said to me, let me take over
Yeah.
these parts of your business with you? So thank
Yeah.
you for
And
that. But
of
keep going.
course. And it was showing, not just showing you my gifts, but me. I was showing me my gifts. I remember after the first retreat, and I was talking to Mel and saying that what I did there, I was able to shine. I was able to organize. I was able to execute. I was able to make people feel welcome.
Yep.
And growing up, I learned that from my grandma, and
Mm,
I felt bad about it from my cousins. And I
mm,
carried that with me because when I would shine, my grandma would look over at my cousins and be like, "Why don't you shine as much as her?" And
mm,
darn it, I'm so sorry that happened to them and me because then I was like, "Oop, dim your light, hide
yeah.
back, don't do
Yeah.
that because somebody else is gonna feel bad for it." So
Yeah.
I was able to just shine at your first event. And I was like, look at this. Nobody's looking at me sideways. Well, maybe a few, but those aren't our people.
Those aren't the people. These are
Yes.
just not the people,
So
right?
to answer your question, a little about me. Um, I came to you as a corporate leader who had just entered network marketing, and it's like, what the heck is this? And I also came to you at the end of 2019. So we did a lot of growing together that we didn't expect to do
That
over those
part.
next 2 years, right? We were thrown in it. And you have always been a support system for me. Not only you, but the community that you built, the women that you surround yourself with. And I'm so honored that I mean, I have a lot of friends within the community, but two of my very best friends, Cynthia and Mel, I met through you, and they've changed my life. It's so I came to you as a corporate leader and had the dream of doing the network marketing thing and quickly realized, wait, I've got a lot more to give and enter in productivity. And then along the way, I met this woman named named Anne Simone,
That's my mom,
who
for all you
happens
that
to
don't
be
know.
Marina's mom, who was like, and Marie, it's funny because when the student's ready, the teacher will come. And Marina had been saying this so loudly. I remember one time she was like, "You need to be loud. This year, you need to be loud." And it took me all the way until June when her mom said, "Oh, that's nice. Yes, that's important. And,
Hmm.
and you have more." And if, for those of you who don't know, her mom is in the education field. And I realized that emotional regulation, what I do now, was something that I could affect change. I could bring harmony into the homes of families across the world. And that I could do that with your guidance on how to be loud and
Yeah.
with your mom's belief in me. Not that you didn't believe in me, but somehow the way she said it, I mean, she's pretty
Yeah.
persuasive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I listened. And so a little backstory, I after COVID, I lost that corporate job, and we took 6 months to just kind of be right. None of there were lots of things going on. So as a family, we took 6 months to be, and my husband and I said, let's revisit this conversation in 6 months, and then we'll see what we want to do. And both of us, we wanted to move. We moved to the mountains. We moved to
Mm.
my hometown. We have a son who is now 12. And we just picked up and we moved to the mountains. And I was able to not go back to corporate. I was able to develop this brand that the Positively Peaceful Parenting is my company. And I was able to develop that through one, being surrounded by nature and peace and calm that I had cultivated for myself and the family,
Yes.
and through your leadership. So that's a little about me. There's so much more to tell.
Oh, I know. I'm like, how many hours do we have? I'm like,
Right.
when's my next appointment? But here's, I love how you said, like, my mom, never in a million years would, if you would have asked me 20 years ago, would you and your mom be working together? I would have laughed because let's see, 20 years ago, I was 22, bar dancing, hopping, all the things. I would have been like, yeah, right. My mom, oh my God, she's so boring. And now she is the most like interesting human to me that I like study because she has what you just said. Like she has this mastery of her emotions. She has a mastery around like doing that inside of rooms. Like I've watched her silence grown ass men with two words. And
Powerful.
that, I'm like, Mom, I need that gift. I need that power. Like, because she's just so amazing. So I'm glad that you all got to see her and meet her and just feel where I've learned everything from, honestly, has come from my mother. And I think the other piece too, I think that I would want to point out for all the listeners about you is that when you were at my event, both of my events, the one we just had and the one last year, you were so like when you run an event, it's I would be like panicking. I would have anxiety. I would have to You made it to where I just had to show up and you had this beautiful calm about you while you were running the show. That's literally what you were running the show, telling who needs to be on stage, who needs to sit back here. And how did you were you always this calm?
Yes, and
Yeah.
yes, I was this calm, and I very quickly was that one who would get that panic, like, oh my gosh, I have to make sure everything's okay. I have to make sure everybody's happy, and it was the people pleaser in me, and
Yeah.
over many years, therapy, coaching, all the things, self development, learned that I can lead. I can make sure that everybody else is happy and in control, and I can be too.
Yeah, that part. Us
So,
too.
yes, us too. So, while you said like somebody can manage a room with that dictatorship, like that, you go here, you do this, and that feeling that they are exuding is
Yeah,
contagious.
it
So
is.
everybody in the room feels it. The speakers feel it. The event, the leaders feel it. Everybody feels it. The guests feel it. And calm is the same way. When
Yeah,
you lead an event with that level, everybody feels it. Everybody
yeah.
feels calmer. Back to regulating the room. I knew if I went up to you and was like, we got to go, you got to get on stage, you were going to get on stage. Or if I just handed you the microphone, you'd be like, all right, let's go. I
And
mean,
that's
there's even
literally
a
what
way
you
to
did.
hand the microphone. I could be
You
like
were
this, or
like,
I could just be
Marina,
like,
here
here
you
you go.
go. It's time for you to be on stage again. And I was like, thanks, Bree. You literally
Yes.
were such a big piece of me staying calm. Like, but you don't, what's really cool is that I didn't realize or recognize how many things I was doing on my own just because I didn't want to ask for help or I just thought I had to do all the things,
Mhm.
right? And then you're like, no, no, this is my gift. This is my gift. And I'm like, okay, here. Here
Yes.
you go. Take it
Yes.
all, please.
Yes, and there's
And it was
something to be
amazing.
said. Stormy said it perfectly that when you are, I mean, you were in charge of transforming every single person in the room. You are not in charge of keeping the time. You are
No.
not in charge of making sure people eat. You are in charge of delivering a transformation, right?
Yeah.
And you were
Yeah.
able to do that. And when, shoot, I lost my train of thought, but when you have somebody in your life that you can delegate, it's super important to know what to delegate, to be able to ask for help. And it's super important to surround yourself with people who don't need to be asked, right?
Mm.
You never asked me to do that.
Mm-mm.
We just figured out together that I could, and you let me. So there is
That's the
something to be
best.
said about the importance of being able to ask for help. But like you said, you didn't know you needed help. You just
Yeah.
were like, I can do it. I'm gonna do it. And so surrounding yourself with people who just know to offer it,
Yeah.
that's key. That is the flex. That's what's hard to do.
Yeah. Well, and now you think about parenting, right? Because this is a
Yes.
big piece of your brand. And I think
Mhm.
about even just my parenting. And I was walking with Anaya last night, and then she made me run, but that's okay. And I was asking her questions, and I was like, well, why do you sometimes like you don't react to anything? Like you're just kind of like sometimes you're numb to things. And she said, well, you used to yell at me a lot, so I learned to just tune you out. And I
Mhm.
was like, and I did, obviously.
Mhm.
Like back when I first got started in network marketing and I had a full-time job and I was a single mom, like it was like, let's go, we gotta go. Duh. It wasn't like I was screaming at her, but I didn't realize
You
like,
felt what was in you. Yes.
yeah, she literally absorbed basically my anxiety, my stress out,
Mhm.
my things, and never said anything but just started to like cave. And then I said to her, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I didn't even think about that. I said, well, that's why I got on meds. Let's be 100. But like I'm a different mom now with Maddie and she sees that and she's like, you would never have let that fly. I'm like, because my brain wouldn't let it fly. Whereas
Right.
now it's just like, what?
Yeah.
But with parenting, I see that a lot, right? With no emotional regulation whatsoever.
Right.
Why do you think that moms specifically have such a struggle with that piece?
So many reasons. One, a lot of them don't even know that it's a thing. I
Yeah,
didn't learn about emotional regulation until I was 40.
yeah.
I now have the honor of teaching children all the way down to 5. And I mean,
Oh.
when I watch a kindergartner and I'm like, okay, we have 5 more minutes in our session, let's go regulate. And they go, let's go regulate. I'm like,
That's
oh
the
my
cutest thing
goodness.
ever. Please get that
I'm
on video, please. That is like the perfect
like,
ad
I
ever.
know. I'm like, that did not happen that long ago. So, one, it wasn't talked about. Even,
Yeah.
I mean, you just mentioned you are two different parents from Anaya and from Maddie. right? At the
Yeah,
beginning of this, you mentioned that if we would have asked you 20 years ago if you would be working with your mom, if you would have asked Anaya 6 years ago or 10 years ago when she was six, no, wait, she's not. Yes, she is 16. How many days?
July. She's,
Ugh. Oh
I
my
know,
goodness. If you would have
I
asked her
know,
10 years ago if she would be willingly taking walks with mom, who is
never.
calm, regulated, enjoying her time, having a conversation, not rushing back to the house, she would have said, no, that's not going to happen. Right.
Mm,
So we are different. We are different every single year of our kid's life, you know? And so yes, every child has a different parent. But one, to answer your question, we did not know about emotional regulation. And two, the it's it actually takes me back to it's simple, but it's not easy. We learned that so many times in our network marketing career, right?
yeah,
It's simple, but it's not easy. That it only takes 90 seconds for you to regulate your nervous system. We think of a massage, we think of a pedicure, we think of a meditation, right? Or journaling, which all of them, sleeping, getting 8 hours of sleep. We think of all of those, and they do regulate your nervous system. And you can regulate your nervous system in 90 seconds. So
mm,
I think that one, not knowing about it, two, thinking that it's harder than it is, and the practice of it, we practice it all the time as opposed to when we need it. Because I don't know about you, when my fight or flight takes over, I don't remember what I'm supposed to do.
that part. No, yeah. I was just
Eh,
gonna say, like, this is definitely something that's like you bake into a routine,
Yes.
you bake into your
Mhm.
lifestyle. Yeah,
Yep. Yes, and then the more you practice it, the easier it comes until you are like it is more often than not that you are just regulated. That
yeah,
one time that you'll feel it in your body that you're about to snap, you'll recognize it. You'll be like, "Ooh, I didn't. I didn't. I do not now need to go apologize to my child for rushing them out the door. You know, I don't
yeah,
need to go repair that with them because I didn't let myself get there. But it doesn't
yeah.
happen overnight. And that's why we continue to practice it. And JJ and I started, let's see, it was 20 2023 is when we started emotion co-regulating. Like I learned about it, and I learned about it for like myself. It was actually in a money course. It was in a money course, and she
Love it.
started by regulating our emotions, and I'm like, "Ooh, what's this?"
Yeah.
And then I very quickly was like, how do I do this for JJ?" And then, thanks to Anne, I was like, how do I take this to JJ's school? And then, thanks
Mm,
to Marina, I was like, how do I take this to the world?
I love it.
Ah,
Well, if
yes,
you think about it, like as moms, like this is just it's you don't think about it younger. I'm gonna be 42. So like like you said, like you hit your 40s and all of a sudden everything looks, smells, tastes, feels different, right?
feels for
And
sure.
I think about 26 years old, having a baby, didn't even know how to change a diaper,
Mhm.
right? And they had no conversation with me if I knew what it meant to be a mom or what was going to come next or none of that. They just made sure I okayed the vaccines and that was a whole, another story back in 20,
Well,
whatever
and
that
they
was,
probably made
2010.
sure that they knew how to eat off of you. That's about it.
Yes, that part they did. They made sure the
It's
baby knew how to eat, but that
it's
was it. It
funny.
wasn't like, hey, by the way, your hormones are going to be out of whack. You're going to feel a little crazy. You might not even like your kid the first 3 months
Mhm.
because you're postpartum, and your kid probably won't ever sleep. That was mine. Like they
Mhm.
don't tell you these things. They're just like, oh, the baby's so cute. Let's do the first photo shoot of the baby. They send a person in with a camera. Oh my God, baby has her first photo shoot. And the baby's fine, right? The calm, collected, because they can wrap them perfectly in a burrito. But the second you put them into that chair and you put them into the car, they become these little things that start screaming, and you're like immediately emotionally like you're trying to survive because you're not
Yes.
even ready for what's about to come. And I think about this with what you offer, right? And I was thinking about this before we got on, and I was like, that would be really cool for like while moms were pregnant for the first time, like having that first baby, like, oh, what to expect when you're expecting. They lied. They lied in that book. That book is not the first book someone should read. I think it needs to be deeper, right? Because I think people are craving deepness earlier on than we did in their 20s and their 30s. And I was thinking about that. I was like, that would be like a really great book, Brie.
Yes.
Like a really great
And
book.
surprisingly, and you probably not surprising for you, my first six chapters of that book would be nothing about a child.
Of
It would
course.
be how to
Yes.
regulate your nervous system
Yeah.
so that you can co-regulate with your child. And
Yeah.
what's interesting is that so many things that we do learn as parents, whether it's from our mothers or our elders or YouTube, like people that we watch on social media, what we do learn, a lot of it is emotional regulation. So if you think about like rocking a baby and just going shh, 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 you're regulating your nervous system by activating your vagus nerve. You're activating the baby's,
That's why I did that. I
you're
get it now.
regulating their nervous system.
It was more like this.
Yeah. But what you're doing is you're doing it without intention, right?
Yeah.
When we add that intentional piece, and all it is which emotion am I regulating? It takes a
Mm,
split second. You can then move that emotion either out of your body, which is phenomenal, or
mm.
like we don't try and suppress the emotions. We just try and move them over because we need more room in our body for logic,
Yeah.
patience,
Yeah.
calm,
Yeah.
trust, so we need to get
Yeah.
those emotions. Like if the baby's crying, something she's feeling out of whack. It's funny that I
Mm.
just said she because you have she's, but I have a he. So you're regulating their nervous system, and
Yeah.
see, I threw myself off with the she. That's weird.
It's okay.
A boy,
It's because we're
mom,
talking
through
about
and
my girl.
through.
We're talking about because I just literally went in depth about her photo shoot, her, you
Yes.
were saying she,
Yep.
that's why. That's why. I basically you've watched Anaya grow up and me be pregnant with Maddie and have her. So I mean, I feel like the healers, like our community, those two kids are everybody's kids. I kind of feel like, we've all raised them together, to be honest.
Mhm. Yes.
So
Yes.
what are some of the things like you're offering? Like what are the things that you're putting out there to help women and families and kids around this?
Yes. And it starts surface level because we all need a quick fix. I mean, this is not a quick fix, but we need something that helps right now.
Yeah.
And something that I developed, so the Zenden Collective is what I do in schools. The company is Positively Peaceful Parenting. But what I did in the Zenden and what I did with JJ back in 2023 is I created a regulation station. And it's for those times, it's great to practice every day, as we said, but it's for those times when your child is overwhelmed, acting
Mm.
out, feeling the big emotions, and you just don't have the capacity to figure out what to do. And it makes
Yeah.
it fun. So it's got 100 different ways to regulate your emotions. Like super simple. You put
Where
it
do
in
I
your
buy
house.
that? I need it for
Yes,
Maddie.
it's already in your back office, my friend.
Okay, good. Perfect.
But
Perfect.
like some people create them and they make them super fun in the playroom. Ours is in our command center. And of course, it's got beautiful craft paper and mason jars because that's me. And JJ doesn't need it anymore because he's got so many in his mind on what to do. But as you're learning, it takes 90 seconds, like I said, and you can do it together. The key is to do it together because you're co-regulating. Then both of your nervous systems are regulated.
Yeah.
That's a win. So we start that. I offer that. That is $1. I just want that to be in everybody's house. Just
Yeah.
please put this in your house.
I love that. We will link that in the show notes for you
Yes.
guys because this is a no-brainer. It's $1.
Yeah. I
Love
just want
it.
it everywhere.
Yeah,
Yes.
needs to be
Um,
everywhere.
and then I offer because I've mentioned that this is a mom thing, right? It is not shameful. I'm not saying it's our fault. I'm saying we can affect the most change.
Mm.
And I know that as a mom, especially when my own, I was just like, I want to help him. I want to help him? How do I help him? I wasn't looking at myself at first. So
Yeah.
I offer just a 6 week course where you learn every week how this is very much child facing, how to help your child
Mm.
regulate their emotions, how to help them navigate whether it's friends at school or right now we're in testing, like testing at school, or navigate family members. You know, my son's favorite person in the whole wide world is his grandpa, and sometimes his grandpa makes him mad, and that's really confusing for him. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we take 6 weeks. It's basically, I mean, it's based on you learn something and you practice it for a week. And then you learn something and you practice it for a week. Because if you're like I was, I would learn it all and try and do it all. And then I'd
That's
get
how
burnt.
we're trained, right?
Yes.
Our whole, especially as moms, we're like, we're the multitasking masters. We've got this. We can
Yeah.
read this while listen to this and talk to that one and sign a check and,
Yeah. And
balance a
still have a
checkbook
conversation with our child? Nope.
and still cook dinner, right? Like
Yes.
all these things. I don't cook dinner. Let me keep it
I know.
100. That
Order
is not
dinner.
something I order dinner. I will order it all day. DoorDash,
Yeah.
best thing on the planet.
Yeah. But
But
you
that
still need
like
some capacity to be able to do that.
I need the capacity, like everything you're saying, like I'm relating, like I'm 100% like with Madeline now, like it is like a necessity.
Mhm.
Otherwise, she's 7, and in 5 more years, if we don't master because she's so smart, so the smart kids, their brains don't stop, always something, they're always yapping, she's always getting in trouble, but like teaching her that mommy and her are going to do this together, I think she's going to be so excited about it. And I'm excited to
Yes.
do it with her.
And I mean, Justin does it with JJ. Wait till you see Jason regulate his emotions.
Oh
They're
my
gonna
gosh.
be they're gonna be walking around the house making kazoo sounds. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna have that proud mama moment and that I love you more than I've ever loved you before moment.
All right. Hey, anything. It's been 17 years.
Yes.
Let's make him cuter. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Let's make him cuter.
Yes.
I love that. So we'll
Yeah.
link
So
it's a 6-week course, you said,
yep,
right?
that's the 6 week. And that is
Perfect.
self-led. That's for you. You learn something, you implement it. Like I said, if you try and do it all at once, one, you don't know what worked, right? Going
No.
back to my optimal productivity, you don't
Yeah.
know what worked. So you got to figure out
Yeah.
what works for you and you get a week to practice it. And then those are what's going to help right now, right? That's what's going to help right now. And then I offer also a 6 week coaching, but this is a group coaching where moms come together and now we're working on ourselves. Now
Mm.
we're learning about our own nervous system. Now we're learning about how to build community, how to interact with our child, how to set up systems in the home that take things off of our plate so that we do have the capacity at the end of the day to be able to be the moms we dreamed of being when we were little girls, right? When we were holding our
Yeah.
baby dolls.
Yeah.
So that is the what really will affect change. And for those of you who are like, I don't want to be in a group, I need you to hold my hand.
Yeah. That part.
I'll
That's
do that as
me.
well so that
Yeah.
you have that group experience because there is something about being in a community where you're like, this is not just happening to me. This happens to other
Hmm.
people. I'm not alone. But there will be that component where there'll be one-on-one, you and I, for each week of those 6 weeks. And my background is actually, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a therapist. I have to say that, but my background is behavior therapy. So there is that part of it where I understand when somebody needs that one-on-one, and that's an option as well. So whatever stage you are in, there is something that we have. And then of course I have the Zenden Collective. So if you are a leader of a school and you want a Zenden in your school, I got that too.
Yeah, I think that piece right there too is like so needed in the
Yeah.
schools because they have and I say this from a place of love, and my mom's been in the education world since, how old am I? 42 years.
Yeah.
And just seeing even at my daughter's private school, like I think there's such a big missing piece for that.
Mhm.
Like my kids are like so smart, but then there's that piece where their behavior and the way they express themselves, like they don't talk about it. They just get a tally if they're talking too much,
Or
or
a
you
clip
know,
up. Those drive me bananas.
Yeah, and they give them a reward if they didn't get any tallies. And I feel like
Mhm.
again, it's just there's this let's celebrate the teaching of the regulation of it. And I love it. I'm obsessed with you. I'm obsessed with everything you do. You guys, if you run to her dollar offer, like it's a no-brainer, run to her offer. And where do you like people to like, oh, they want to ask you questions, they want to get on a call
Yes.
with you, like where do they reach out?
Yes, the best way, positively peaceful parenting. That is my Instagram. And you could find all of my offers there, as well as if you DM me there, you'll get me right away. Um, Emails and text messages, they're just too long. We just,
Yeah,
this way you can do it in the middle of the
yeah,
night when you think
yeah,
of it, when you've had that day where you're like, I did not necessarily perform like I would have liked. Oh, wait,
yeah.
I remember. Let's just go see. You could do it as you're falling asleep. You don't have to wait.
Yeah, send that DM. Don't hesitate. Bree is
Yes.
amazing. And a
Mhm.
bot does not respond. It is Bree.
Correct. It's me.
It's Bree. Well, thank you so much. I
Thank
love
you,
you.
Marina.
You're amazing. Thank you for being
Oh,
here with us. If there was one thing that you could have, just random question to end this. If there
yes.
was something that you could have in the next 5 years, it can't be something, it has to be like something wacky, new, weird. I don't know. Something that no one would ever in a million years think that Bree wants in the next 5 years. What would that be?
Whew. Something that they do. See, I'm an open book, so a lot of people know that I want this.
Well, my listeners don't know you want
I
this.
know that's true. That's true. So, well, like the first thing that came to my mind was community. So we
Hmm.
tend to be on an island, and I'm taking the Zenden Collective. So I've worked at one school developing it, and now I'm taking it to the county and then to the state. So I'm doing that this year, and I'm not plagued with the thought of what if it doesn't work. I'm plagued with what if I never see these people again? And
Hmm.
so it's been making me think about just building a women's circle within my community that is like it makes me think of like you can sit with us, right? You can sit
Yeah,
with us, come to my table. And that we start with just a handful of women and
yeah,
we every time you invite a different woman and each of us can help each other grow and we have a support system when we have that night where our child just makes us want to pull our hair out and we have somebody
yeah.
to talk to. You know, we've had a in our family, we've had a hard couple years just with things that were out of our control, like that we didn't expect. And yes, I had community, thank goodness. And one of my biggest community supporters is on the other side of the world. So
Literally,
yes,
Australia.
Australia, Mel is on the other side of the world. Didn't stop her from being there every moment I needed her, though. And it's nice to have somebody that you can hug, right? So in 5 years, I want a community, surround myself with women that not only virtually or across the world, but in my community that I can reach out and hug.
I love that. Well, I
Yes.
love you. You guys go click all the links in the
Yes.
show notes.
Thank
Bree, we
you.
love you. We're so
Oh,
grateful for you. And
Marina, thank you for believing in me
oh my
even before
gosh,
I did.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
That's kind of my gift. It's kind of
Yeah, it
my
is.
thing.
Among so many others.
Thank you. Well, I love you guys.
I
We
love
had
you.
such a great time. Don't forget to check out the sponsors in the show notes. Mwah!
Thank you. Mwah. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.